Somebody really needs to lend Hyuse a hand. This entire second half of the episode is the man being in a situation that I don't even know how long Jin would last, honestly. I knew round 8 would be tough, but seeing it makes it even feel more brutal. So this episode of World Trigger this week kicks off round 8, and naturally we have ways to divide up this episode. Now last week we left off with 13 minutes till transmission, and that of course gives us plenty of time for the strategy planning phase before the battle begins. With 4 teams on the map again, this is going to be a very hectic final battle, and when anybody could be pinched, it's going to be very important to have a balance of offense and defense in this battle. So let's start off with of course talking about Tomakoma 2's strategy, which this time around comes off as a very confident start. As mentioned in last week's team talk, Chika and Hyuse will meet up together and thus start the spear and shield tactic of engaging in a firefight, specifically with Ninomiya if possible. To secure the perimeter, Mikuma will set up wires around the area in which Kuga can use to traverse with, which will not only slow down opponents but also give them the necessary means of interception. To put it down simply, a very stronghold-like formation that we initially saw in round 5. A very Mikumo-like strategy to have a balance of offense, defense, and utility that fits right into the current Tomakoma 2 lineup. With Chika not using real bullets, this development should spice things up going into round 8. Now as far as concerns, it's mainly for the locations of the aces. Whether it's Ikuma's Whirlwind, Ninomiya's Gimlet Barrage, or Yuba's Quick Draw at close range, these agents could easily disassemble the strategy, so keeping an eye on them and their locations is a pretty important priority as well. If the team can establish the setup and the locations, then things are already looking good off the start. Heading over into Yuba's squad, it's made clear that Amatori is the main priority. Her round 7 blast has left teams unknowing whether or not it was a fluke if she could shoot or not, so it's up to the team sniper Tanuka, who was also formally introduced in this episode, to deal with her in this match. Teams like Yuba and Obishima move in a 2-man unit. How things may go with her and Kuga this time around is anyone's guess, but the exchange with her and Yuba clearly suggests that she's not going to go down by a trick this time so easily. Yuba is one captain that definitely runs a tight ship, so I certainly don't expect to see any teamwork problems in this match either. Ikuma's squad also follows a similar plan in which Oki is to look out for Amatori as well. The rest of the squad will pretty much proceed as normal, though taking more caution into their spawn points as well. Ikuma's squad didn't get too much fight time around their debut, so hopefully this match will allow them to stick around much longer. As for the Ninomiya squad, there isn't too much to be said. They are a squad that has arguably proven themselves to be the most competent, given their reputation amongst some A-rank agents as well. One thing though is that Ninomiya realizes what Tomakoma 2 needs in order to win, and in order to live up to his ruse against Mikumo, he is not coming to play. With the team talk pretty much over now, no time is wasted as we head straight into the battle phase of the episode, and man did the art look really good once more this week. I'm not sure if it's because the map choice allows it so, given it's daytime and it's much brighter compared to the other previous maps, but everyone looked really good upon transmission and throughout this episode. With everyone spawning at an equal distance from each other, round 8 kicks off with the first thing to do, regroup, and identify any enemy locations. Of course, things have never gone that smoothly, and the person who strikes first is of course Ninomiya with the Gimlet Barrage at that. I really like the sudden silence before the impact moment as Mikuma was watching, really gives the deadly barrage type feels. I also enjoy how Kuga picked up Chika and skedaddled out of the way. Regardless of them both being small, Yuma is quite the handyman when it comes to escorting Chika. Speaking of Chika, her return of fire this episode brought out some major concerns. We see her have a mini panic moment when asked if she can fire back, in which she does say yes she can shoot, but that may not fully be the case at this time. We get a moment where Yuma looks like he's using his side effect, a really nice detail to show how the next moment of decision making comes into play. She ends up firing back one strong volley of hound bullets, which gives them the ability to flee, while also avoiding giving the Ninomiya squad the info they needed on whether or not she can fully shoot. Crushing 2 birds with one stone and securing their escape route, Chika securing some distance for the team for now. Moving over to the opposite side of the map, Hyuse is in one heck of a pinch, being trapped between Yuba and Ikuma's squad. As competent as he is, taking on this many people is going to be a tough fight, and a tough episode fight this was. Hyuse became a priority target just off of him not only being a strong rookie, but one with no backup in sight as well. His situation is one of the few times World Trigger showcases a really bad spawn. A bagworm will only buy him so much time due to the snipers, but if the close range opponents lock him in, it's a fight against the world, and this episode does just that. The minute Hyuse is cut out, things begin to take an intense turn of events. From dodging an Ikuma whirlwind and getting some high ground came blocking an Ibis shot from Oki. Hyuse still doing his research as he knew that Oki will have an Ibis sniper on him. Before he could even turn to deal with Ikuma, Yuba came around and gave him an intense shootout. Gotta say, I really enjoy seeing Yuba in action. The way he uses cover and goes for shots is such a cowboy type fighting style, and it perfectly fits him given his weapon of choice. Dropping down from the rooftop, Hyuse deploys an Escudo to stop the fire from Yuba, but Obishima comes from the back as well, attempting to go for the two-man pincer kill, but he does block. The man spent the entire last bit of the episode fighting for his life, and I wish that was an understatement, but it's not, because even the announcers were surprised that he wasn't dead either. Whether or not Hyuse will make it out or not won't come down to his skills alone. We cut back to our main crew thinking of a way to bail Hyuse out of the situation. The simple strategy is just go to lay down some cover fire so Hyuse can escape. Of course, this will alert Nanomiya of their position, but Mikumo is taking care of that with some dummy wire zones as well. The trick here is speed. They have no intention of staying there for long, but just enough for Hyuse to get himself out of the war zone. Now, the way this episode concludes, without a doubt, gives off some absolute brutal cliffhanger energy from years ago. With Ikuma coming from the back, Obishima the left, and Yuba right in front of him, Hyuse is in a make or break situation. Next week, he definitely might start to feel some pain. Even with his skills, the sheer number is just too much for one agent to handle alone. How will he handle this? We'll just have to wait till next week. This episode adapted the rest of chapter 184, adapted chapters 185 and 186 fully, and the early bits of chapter 187, and with that, it's going to bring me to the end of this episode review. Overall, a really strong start to round 8, and the best moments are yet to come. As always, if you have enjoyed this video and would like to see more World Trigger content, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, and leave all your thoughts about today's episode in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe and warm out there, and I will catch you guys in the next video.